impact. Let's take a listen to a little bit of what the president of the International Longshoremen's Union had to say.
These people today don't know what a strike is.
Right.
When my men hit the streets from Maine to Texas, every single port will lock down. You know what's going to happen? I'll tell you. First week, be all over the news every night, boom, boom. Second week, guys who sell cars can't sell cars because the cars ain't coming in off the ships. They get laid off. Third week, malls start closing down. They can't get the goods from China. They can't sell clothes. They can't do this. Everything in the United States comes on a ship. They go out of business. Construction workers get laid off because the materials aren't coming in. The steel's not coming in. The lumber's not coming in. They lose their job. Everybody's hating the longshoremen now because now they realize how important our jobs are.
Smash that like button, tell a friend to tell a friend. This is the beginning, this is not the end. Another episode of the Healthy Discussion Show. Today's topic, we're talking about the dock workers, the strike. See, something is happening, right? And it's funny that this happened under the Kamala and Biden administration because this, to me, just worsened her campaign, right? This goes to show, what are you doing now to drive inflation down, not up? These people, these dock workers, you know, everything come on the ship. Everything comes on the ship. Without the ship, we won't have any products. Read the book Sold Out. You will understand the supply chain dilemma that we have to re-innovate, right? Read the book Sold Out, just as a reference point. But imagine if bananas and just regular grocery store items, right? You can't find them at the store. They all come from the ship. Once it comes to the ship, it goes onto the trailers, right? So imagine if the ship has a halt, then the trailer has a halt. If the trailer has a halt, then product, services, and good for you and I double or triple. Now, if you're doing some type of option play, I look at things from a very optimistic point of view. If you're trying to make money off this situation, you can, because I notice when there's some form of shortage, prices go up. So stock prices may go up, the S&P may go up. So look at it like that too as well. I know stock prices, not financial advice, it will skyrocket because of these things. But they're asking for a 77% gross income raise. Now, they normally get paid about $80,000, right? They want to go up to all the way to $120,000 in 6 years, right? Now, as far as a company, that might not be so good because it may not be so sustainable. It sounds good, right? But what's the side effect of it? Will now these companies shrink or downsize? How is the union protecting these people? Leave your thoughts down below. I really want to know what you think. Leave your thoughts down below.
Now I have the president screaming at me. I'm putting a Taft-Hartley on you. Go ahead. Taft-Hartley means I have to go back to work for 90 days. That's a cooling off period. Do you think when I go back for 90 days, those men are going to go to work on that pier? It's going to cost the company's money to pay their salaries. Well, they went from 30 moves an hour maybe to 8. They're going to be like this. Who's going to win here in the long run? You're better off sitting down and let's get a...
Leave them comments down below. Who you guys think gonna win in the long run? Is it the workers, the union workers at the docks, or is it actually the companies? Who's gonna win in the long run? Like I say, companies' best interest is their investors, not their workers. So this sounds good right now, and I'm not saying that the union workers shouldn't get paid more because they're also boycotted against. It's actually the ILA workers. They actually boycotted against these AI machines taking the jobs as well. Now, I think from a business outlook, if I'm the boss, which I am, and I have workers, and I say, well, I know this might not be the best thing for workers, but I have shareholders, right? And it may be the best thing for them. You cut down the labor costs, or the most expensive thing in a business, quote unquote, is the employees. So with AI, with robotics, with technology, you can eliminate that and actually increase your profit margin, which then makes your shareholders want to invest more monies. It's all about the money. So the side effect of this, I look at it as if the business at the end of the day is going to win, right? Now, what is Kamala going to do? Is she going to approve this? How are they planning on maneuvering through these situations? For example, you have Thanksgiving coming up. I've noticed me going to the grocery store too. There's certain things you still can't find on the shelf. So is this a rerun of 2020? Smash that like button, tell a friend to tell a friend. This is the beginning. This is not the end.
The contract, and let's move on with this world. In today's world, I'll cripple you. I will cripple you, and you have no idea what that means. Nobody does.
So he clearly, Ryan, understands the power.
It would have been better if you would have.
I don't know why they're laughing. This man is serious. This man has power. He said, I will cripple you. I will cripple you, or the economy, which means that we all are going to be affected no matter the class, because we all use services and goods.
It would have been better if it was a TikTok and he was in a passenger seat, talking into it.
Oh yeah, that would be the vibe. Give us you really flagged this and have been on top of this more than maybe anyone. So give us a sense of the history here, what they're asking for, et cetera.
I mean, they know that they have the choke points of the economy.
Facts.
And the choke points of this election coming up too.
And with the election coming up, yes, but at the same time, they know there's going to be, like he said, he's going to have the president yelling at him. He's going to have Mayor Pete, no doubt, yelling at him. Mayor Pete's been in the middle of this trying to get it to a deal. They're asking for $5 an hour extra every year for their 6-year contract, and they're fighting against automation.
Yeah,
those are the two big things.
Yeah. The automation piece seems to be a really significant part of it as well, which is something we've tracked with other strikes, in particular some of the Hollywood strikes previously, where the writers were really concerned and the actors were very concerned about the use of their likenesses.
Let's put the next one up on the screen, please. Can we put, is it C2? Because that actually has a map. This is kind of useful. So what you see are all of the ports there along the East Coast that are currently shut down. The Port of New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore, so significant in terms of the...
Y'all hear this? Look at the map. Pay attention to the map. It says dock workers launch strike at ports from Maine to Texas. This is all East Coast. Now we all know that China goods and most of the goods come in at the East Coast and the West Coast, on both coasts. So the West Coast isn't really affected by this, but they will have to change their routing in order to suffice for what's really going on the East Coast, which means you're taking products from the West in order to fulfill the East Coast order. And we all know in a matter of time, give it a couple of weeks, in a matter of time, prices will start to increase in a matter of time. So let me know which state, which city you from in here. Which coast are you on? Are you on the West side or are you on the East side? And if so, the major areas that they're talking about, have you noticed anything that's going on? Leave them comments down below. I really want to know what you think about this one. This is crazy.
Amount of trade. This also comes before retail is about to have its biggest quarter. Q4, always the biggest one for retail. December, Thanksgiving, all of those sales. So, I mean, it's very smartly timed on their part.
It is all the major holidays. Let me repeat. Thanksgiving, Christmas. You have New Year's. These are all the major Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. All these things, these are all the major holidays. So to me, they can put it in a chokehold because we have about what? We also have the election coming up. So November to me is going to be very wintry. Smash that like button if you agree. Tell a friend to tell a friend. This is the beginning. This is not the end.
I mean, in terms of the specifics of the contract, like Ryan was saying, they're asking for that raise that would happen. What was it? The ILA wants the base hourly rate for it to change to $69 from a $39 per hour, a 77% pay increase that would phase in over 6 years as a condition to sit down to talks with maritime employers. The kind of issue right now is that they rejected the previous one, the ILA, but it wasn't just over wage issues. It was specifically also about automation. Their, response to everyone who was like, "Oh, that's ridiculous," was like, "Well, first of all, it's over, 6 years." But their real
pause, and that's another important point that we got to talk about, right? Automation and AI is actually changing all industry. Automation and AI is actually changing all industry. So if you don't incorporate these things or embed these things inside of your business module, you will get left behind. So as a business owner, how do I say, hey, I understand that the product, service, and good department is needed, but I also understand that automation is needed. So I look at it like maybe a couple of years from now, the union won't have the same packaging, right? Nowadays, you can't even get a full 1K or full-time work. You have to put it all together in order to have some form of benefits and actually working. That's why, to me, this is the greatest time to start your entrepreneurship, right? Never depend on anyone to feed you. You should be the president of your own life, including your own family and everything along that nature. Smash that like button if you agree. Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Real beef with them is about the amount of profit that ocean carriers had during COVID. So everyone will remember all of that.
Have been really
cleaned up. Yeah.
And they raised prices.
All those shipping.
Pause. They raised prices, but did y'all know that most of these companies, they didn't just make millions of dollars during the phase, right? It's funny, you can't even say those words. Zuckerberg already said that he was paid to censor everything, but that's a whole nother conversation under the Biden administration campaign. Can we talk about it? Grab your pots and pans, it's time to cook. Don't forget the spatula. Can we talk about it? They made billions, not millions, right? They made billions. Now they're making billions off of that cause. Do you get it? Why they paid you out pennies? Peep gang.
Some of the worst abusers in terms of corporate.
They're worse than the
greedflation.
Who was it? They're worse than the trains. Like, remember we covered the railway strikes. These people are filthy rich. So that's really where the actual sticking point is. Right. I think the real question will actually be about media coverage, because kind of like last time, the railway workers weren't able to get their message across really at all. Biden crushed them effectively and forced through that deal. So this time, kind of like he's saying, he's like, well, the media is going to blame us. But, if you actually explain the situation, look, without taking a side or whatever, if you explain the situation, it's reasonable in terms of the way the contract works and all of that. Politically, I have seen criticism of them of like, hey, you guys are screwing over Biden and the Democrats, like when they need you once. But if the contract comes up over every 6 years, what are you supposed to do? Just wait another, it's like, we went 12 years without pay increase.
A lot. Like total nonsense. Yeah. Like, their contract was up. It's not like they timed it to coincide with the election. Now it happens to give them some little additional leverage. But put C3 up on the screen. This will be interesting to see if there's a question tonight at the debate to JD Vance and Tim Walz about this strike. So Biden so far has been pretty much on the side of the workers. He said, Mr. President,
pause. Let's read. Bernie Sanders. Y'all all know who that is, right? President Biden is right. He should not invoke the theft hardly to end the port strike. Dock workers are striking against excessive corporate greed. Let me repeat. Dock workers are striking against excessive corporate greed. The shipping industry has made $400 billion in profit since 2020. My God. Let me run that back again. DJ, chicka, chicka, chicka. DJ, pon the replay, chicka, chicka, chicka. DJ, pon the replay. Let's read this again. This is the big screen. It states that President Biden is right. He should not invoke the theft hardly to end the port strike. Dock workers are striking against excessive corporate greed. The shipping industry has made $400 billion in profit since 2020. It's only 2024. My God. It's time for dock workers to be treated with respect, not contempt. Mr. President, will you intervene in the dock workers strike if they go on strike on Tuesday? Now, Tuesday is coming up. That's next week. So let's just say it's October, right? Let's just say by November, society is going to feel the effect and this processing by, let's just say November. The president said no. So the president isn't going to. This is what WH.gov is saying. The president said no. Why not? The president also stated because there's collective bargaining, and I don't believe in the Taft-Hartley. Okay. You don't believe in it, okay, until they start exercising their right. You're going to stop believing it when these people start exercising their right. And then look at the thing, though. This leads to crime going what? Up. You already have migrants here, right? What happens if you don't feed the migrants that's already here? My God. Do y'all see what's going on? Can we connect full? Can we connect more? My fathers, do y'all see what's going on? But let's continue.
He was asked, Mr. President, will you intervene in the dock workers strike if they go on strike on Tuesday? He said no. And they said, why not? Because there's collective bargaining, and I don't believe in Taft-Hartley. So without getting too much into the minutia here, and here you have Bernie Sanders saying President Biden is right. And Biden put out another statement that, echoed and elaborated on this basic instinct. The railway workers operate under a different set of specific laws that are specific to their industry, whereas the dock workers are just broadly under Taft-Hartley. So you have Republicans, a lot of Republicans now who are like, use Taft-Hartley to stop this strike. This is going to be devastating to the economy, et cetera, et cetera. And you've had Biden so far on the other side of that saying, no, there's a collective bargaining, collective bargaining is occurring. The companies need to do right by the workers, et cetera, et cetera. So given J.D. Vance's positioning in particular is trying to be more pro-labor, trying to signal, more friendliness towards unions, I'm curious how he would handle a question on this issue, because most Republicans have been on the side of just like crush the workers and get them back to work. And,
what are the chances they'll ask?
You have Trump out there.
I don't think it's high.
Unlike, you never know. I mean,
if they're smart,
it's a significant economic issue right now.
It is,
right?
but did they catch on that it's happening? Yeah, I don't know.
Do they watch Counterpoints?
It'll be interesting to see. Yeah, they should. It's happening now, and a week from now, if it's still happening, it's all anybody's going to be talking about.
Right. Yeah. No, that's exactly right. And it would be. I'm curious too what Trump would say about it, because he.
Well, this guy is friends with Trump. Apparently, there's photos of the two of them.
Surprising news.
Yeah, but more.
And that shows you a lot. See, that's why I say, hey, look. I understand. I'm not in total agreement with anybody, with everything that anyone does, right? Trump has his way. Kamala has her way. But at the end of the day, who would you rather be president? That's the ultimate question. Would you rather somebody that is totally dependent on the presidency, or someone that actually is a businessman that's running this corporation called America? I would much rather a businessman run a corporation than a president running a corporation. Smash that like button if you agree. Tell a friend and tell a friend. But also, I believe that you should be your own president. No matter who becomes president, you should be the own president. You should be the leader as a man of your family. That point blank simple. That's where I stand. Smash that like button if you agree. Tell a friend and tell a friend. This is the beginning. This is not the end. I have some links down below. This is how you support the channel. Feel free to donate if you would like to. It isn't a requirement. You can show me some support. Email me. Let me know what topics you want me to talk about, because my email has been going off lately and someone told me to cover this topic. So, hey, I do it for you guys. Most importantly, you guys. How you guys feeling today? I normally ask you how you feeling before I start my live, right? That's why I'm back. Drop a smiling emoji, or drop how you feeling, where you from, and make sure that you keep the comments appropriate. Once again, make sure you keep the comments appropriate. We are entitled to our opinion, but let's be respectful, respectfully. All right.
In terms of the
I think the union did endorse Kamala, though.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's not unusual or uncommon in the labor world, but the union is officially behind Kamala Harris. But Trump, he'll do these sort of like virtue signals towards labor, but then when push comes to shove, he's there bragging with Elon about how cool it was that Elon was firing striking workers and complaining about how he never liked to pay
demands. So Biden says collective bargaining is the best way for workers to get the pay and benefits they deserve. I have urged USMX, which represents a group of foreign-owned carriers, to come to the table and present a fair offer to the workers of the International Longshoremen's Association that ensures they are paid appropriately in line with their invaluable contributions. So we were just talking, Ryan, about.
Also, did y'all know that every time it's a hurricane, right? Do y'all know that gas prices go up, especially like in Texas or anything along that nature? It's a direct connection. So with all of these major events that's happening, do you really believe that we have time to play? Like, we need to get this negotiation on board, because if we don't, like I say, it's going to be catastrophic for the lower class and we don't have a middle class anymore. It's either you have it or you don't. So the mass amount of people will be affected by this. But I tell people, be very optimistic, because even if the market is going down, you can still make money. Let me repeat. Even if the market is going down, you can still make money and ride it all the way up. Not financial advice. Let me know what you thought about this. I have one more. Let's stop sharing that screen real quick. I have another clip that I wanted to show about what's actually going on in Baltimore and the ports, because things got a little bit physical. Let me repeat. Things got a bit physical. So let's share this. Let me know if you guys can see the screen. It's coming on up in a half of a second. Let's share that. Can you see the screen? Put a 1 in the chat if you can see the screen. Put a 2 in the chat if you can see this. Okay. People telling me to make this a little bit bigger. All right. There we have it. Let's go.
This morning with a Fox 5 News alert. Thousands of dock workers are on strike, causing ports across the U.S. to close.
Yeah, in total, 36 ports shutting down, including the port of Baltimore. Melanie Allenwick is there right now live, and she appears to be telling us since this morning that it's been heating up there, and it hasn't been a pleasant sight for many folks, especially the drivers coming in.
That's right. So for some people, I think it might have been a bit of a surprise. However, this has been in the news that it could be happening for a few weeks now. So you can see the picket lines behind me here. And this is the main entrance to the Port of Baltimore, the Dundalk Terminal. And you'll see they're walking around the picket lines in circles. Now, Baltimore police were here earlier reminding the picketers that they cannot block the entrance to the port. The longshoremen walked off the job at 12:01 a.m. There was confusion and anger as picketers initially tried to stop trucks from entering, and it did turn violent.
I come here for 7 years. I pull the trash and the debris out of here for the Port of Baltimore, and the office.
Hold on. That's not catch up. Let me look at that again. That don't look like catch up to me now, does it? Does it look like catch up to you guys? Ladies and gents, what does it look like? So you have people fighting over this actual cause, which makes sense because you got to think about it. You're playing with people's money. Like, people are watching what's going in, what's going out. You're asking them to do more while giving them less, while everything else is going up. So they have a right to be angry, but you still have to control your actions by any means necessary. But as a man, you have a right to be angry. You have a right to fight for what you believe in. You can't play Malcolm in the middle. You have to pick a side. So obviously he picked his side.
Officer told me to come back and make go in there to get out of my way, and they attacked me and broke the windshield and serrated my face. Look at it.
Crazy, bro.
Now, we don't know exactly what happened. The union members said the truck hit one of the picketers as they swarmed around it. We did see an ambulance come to assist, and we know that that gentleman did speak with police officers. Again, we'll let the authorities sort out exactly what happened there. Now, 45 members of the International Longshoremen's Association, 45,000 members. That's a big difference in a number, isn't it? They've all been asking for a 77% pay increase over 6 years and a ban on automation at their ports, a threat to their jobs, they say. Now, most retailers stocked up on goods prior to the strike.
Now, I don't know how they're going to ban that automation. That's one thing I don't understand, because from a business outlook, right, just look at it from a business point of view. Why wouldn't I pay for AI or some type of machinery in order to lower down the labor costs, cut down the employees so I can gain more profit? Because this is not a non-profit. This is a full profit business. Obviously, this is a capitalistic world. They're into making monies. Smash that like button if you're a capitalist and you like making money. Smash that like button if you live in the United States. Smash that like button if you may be overseas and you understand, hey, you're trying to make it here just so you can make the money to send it back and build your dreams. Because it's a reason people say there's no more opportunities in the United States. And I said, huh? Well, if that's the case, why is everyone here? It's obviously still better here than a lot of places. You still get to be what you want to be. Can we talk about it? Can we talk about it?
But if it lasts more than a few weeks, supply chain experts say it's consumers who are going to feel the direct impact of higher prices and product shortages, especially for things like fresh fruit, coffee, and cars. The U.S. Marine Alliance, which represents...
That's another thing. Cars. Cars already is overpriced now, right? So now what you saying that the cars do come on ships. And in order to distribute the cars, it hit the ship, then it hit the trucks. So I think we're in a bottleneck right here. And guess who always end up paying the foot in the bill? The consumers. The consumers. What's going to happen is, okay, we're going to give you a raise, right? We're going to give you a raise. It's okay. But now the price of eggs, instead of $4, they might go to $10. This is allegedly, hypothetically, supposedly. All I'm saying is there's going to be a significant increase. Make it make sense. It will be a significant increase. But let's continue. Let's continue.
The ports said it offered 50% pay increases and an agreement to keep current limits on automation, in addition to increased contributions to the retirement plans. But apparently that was not acceptable to the union members. We don't know what the next steps are in terms of the negotiations. Now, we do want to let you know that West Coast ports do remain open. They are a different union and working under a different contract, and many supply chain leaders have rerouted some of their goods and supplies. But on the East Coast, it's going to have to be a wait and see situation as to how directly everyone is impacted. I want to let you know that, again, we are going to try to get an interview with one of the local union leaders here as soon as we sign off. And if we get anything from their point of view, we'll be sure to bring it to you.
All right, smash that like button, tell a friend to tell a friend. Let me know what you think about this and how this strike, this dark strike, might affect you, your kids, your family, your Christmas, your Thanksgiving, your holiday season time, because that's basically a signal to spend your money. So let me know how it will affect you. Are you cutting down on Christmas because of this? Are you cutting down, or are you stocking up because of this, right? Just let me know your decision. On that note, peace, blessings, and love. And remember, positivity over negativity always. Don't forget to hit the links down below to support the channel. We have EMF cancer protection. Today is actually October 3rd. So this is actually one of the last days for child or kids cancer affair. So make sure that you support your loved ones by purchasing what's on the link. You get a great discount. It's an affiliate marketing link. You get a great discount. If you need business funding, check in on your credit, and also hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal if you're feeling generous, and shoot me an email. Let me know what I could do better, what subjects you want me to cover, and anything along that nature. On that note, peace, blessings, and love. And remember, positivity over negativity, always.